won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Pregaming here at Sports Money Network. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. We put it all together. We've been looking at the card all day long. We have sides, totals, player props, you name it. We're playing it tonight. We've been looking at this card. We've been looking at sides. We've been looking at splits. We've been looking at cash flow. We've been looking at sharp, respected betting information. And it's time to come to the table with some winning bets. Tonight, we're going to talk about a bunch of hockey games. There's a huge hockey slate tonight. Thank goodness, man. I'm so happy hockey is rolling. Tampa Bay Lightning, New Jersey Devils, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Washington Capitals, St. Louis Blues, and the Nashville Predators, and the Panthers, and the Colorado Avalanche will be the games that I talk to you guys about here on Pregaming. Then we're going to go to the NBA Cup. I got to say, a little disappointed in my NBA Cup reads. I don't know. I guess trying to gauge motivation. This is where we evolve as cappers, and I guess trying to use the motivation angles. Listen, that's bullshit. It's arbitrary. It's too much gut. It's too much heart. It's not enough science. And we believe in the intersection of both. So Celtics and Bucks, Blazers and Pelicans, and Nuggets and Kings. One of those games has a big player prop. We're going to talk about that tonight. Then I'm going to give you guys two college basketball games for the late night slate, St. Joe's and Syracuse. And then North Dakota and Bakersfield. I've got to shout myself out for my college basketball run. It's been a lot of fun, man. We had a 6-0 night last night over on the Pregaming side for college hoops. I want to be humble. I want to be the humble warrior here, but I'm also not surprised. The sports I like college basketball, but it's not something I grew up with. So it's like I can come in a pure analytical sense because I don't have any affinity or passion to one side or another. I could care less about Duke and UNC. I care less about, Big Ten. I don't care. I just want to get money, and we've been getting that money. So we're going to try to get that money again tonight. I just hope the NBA Cup can turn it around for us. Ordinarily, I get fired up about this stuff, and then I start looking at this thing, and I'm like, man, WTF. Now, last night was a big night. Not only did we go 6-0 on the pre-gaming side of things, on the winnable side of things, we went 1, 2, 3-1 over here. So it was a 9-1 day in college hoops yesterday. Bottom line, we're going to recap for transparency purposes. We're going to get to this show because we've got our 7:45 go time for this Thursday night football. Can you believe it's already Thursday? Man, I was busy today. Things were cranking. I'm like, wow, 6 o'clock already? Where did the time go? But we'll do a quick recap. We'll see what you guys have going on. We'll talk about what's in business for us here this evening, and then we will get to the plays. NC State minus 12.5 cashed for us last night. Them boys won by 40. The best part, you got to look at some of these live lines, right? Because even if it's not, so I practice and I preach the single unit. Just be concerned. We're not trying to chase. We don't have 5-unit whale specials of the year. It's just being conservative and managing our bankroll as we try to grow this business. We want to grow our bankrolls. And, this is where people get in trouble. Anytime I seem to go with like a 3-unit banger, go out there and crush it, I end up taking the big L. But what I did do with this NC State spot is it came down to minus 8.5 right away against Liberty. And I believe in the cap. So I jumped in for another unit on that thing. But minus 12.5 cashed for us out there. Utah Valley got busted up. But again, a Utah Valley spot at halftime, I was able to get a minus 1.5. So they win the game 73-69. We lost here, but I ended up pushing overall, swallow a little juice. Then, of course, we're back to the battle, and it's the Houston Cougars in the saddle doing their thing at home. Jackson State under 21.5. What, they have 16 points at halftime, 18 points at halftime. Let's go. That was keep our eyes on that. Houston at home. Team total unders. That was the cap for that game. And then Nebraska. A lot of you guys around Wisconsin. Well, and this is why you got to come here. Because there was a misconception. Everybody's on Nebraska. And I showed you guys that no, they're not all on Nebraska. They're all on Wisconsin. And so we picked up Nebraska minus 110. They busted them boys up by 30 points, 90-60 overall. The NBA Cup was an epic fail. Not about epic. Maybe that's too strong a word. Gave you guys one play here. It didn't cash. So that sucks. The Lakers team total over 124.5. The Lakers just didn't have it last night. And because of that, our parlay could not cash. So a little disappointing on that front there. 0-1 on the NBA Cup. And then the NHL, look, Chicago Blackhawks, 120. A lot of you guys were looking at the Rangers. Respect, but with all respect, 3-0 final for the Chicago Blackhawks at plus money. We want the Blackhawks and the Sharks in plus money positions. Mental note, Blackhawks, Sharks, plus money positions. Within reason, right? Within reason. Now, the Calgary Flames did not go under 6.5. 4-3 final. The Detroit Red Wings won. A lot of you guys were on the Red Wings. If I had a hat, I'd take it off for you. But I did talk about Rasmus, and I said, take his point, take his assist, take his shots on goal, take his blocks. The only thing he didn't cash there was his blocks. He cashed everything else, and they were all plus money spots. So not too dissuaded by that loss. It's disappointing because I did jump in on the under. And look, if you had Detroit, you won the game. So congratulations. And the Kings. Man, has this not been a season of comebacks here in the third period? The Seattle Seahawks, I'm sitting there. Now, I was doing a bunch of stuff last night late, some counting, some record keeping, that kind of stuff here. And I was like, man, I'm really stretched out now because I did go, a live bet on the Kings. And so I had a couple units on the Kings there, and I'm looking at it sitting there as we get to the later part of the evening. 1 unit to start, 1 unit live. And I'm looking at it going, man, it was the last leg of a parlay. So I was pretty invested. I was pretty disappointed to see the Seattle Kraken score at the end of that game and then win in overtime. But took all my winnings, all the money I had invested, how much I could win if the Kings won. I split that in half. I dumped it on the Kraken. And so I didn't have to take the bridge this morning when I saw that this LA Kings lost the game in overtime. All about making wise gambling decisions. That's what we're doing up in here. Shout out to everybody that's rocking. Yeah, it was a small loss here. We lost about 3/4 of a unit, lost about a half a unit over on the winnable side of things here, which is disturbing because it was a fucking massive day in college basketball. But yeah, look, hockey. I'm just mad at myself. I guess I just lost a little focus. Maybe I lost a little discipline. I don't know. Somewhere in between there. I'm not happy about what happened last night, despite the fact that, hey, we live to fight another day. We're not down and out of this thing here. We had some big spots. We had some low spots. But, at the end of the day, this is what we do. This is how we get after it. This is how we keep the train rolling. So let's keep that train rolling here this evening. If you guys haven't done so already, smash that thumbs up button. And my goodness, if you haven't done so already, two things. I'm going to talk about winnable, but I'm going to talk about notifications. This is uber important. 16% of you guys now, 16% have your notifications turned on for the Sports Money Network here on YouTube. Yeah, we're not fluffing frills. We're not just fluffing things up here. We're not fluffers on the set of a set. You know the deal. We're here giving you guys content. So why wouldn't you turn those notifications on? When a post gets dropped, you're not going to know. That means that live bets, that means that bets that happen 30 minutes before the game starts, all those things are going to be left in the dark. And you don't want to be left in the dark. Turn the light switch on. All you got to do is turn your notifications on. And if you want to step it up, you want to get a little more serious about your action, well, you can follow me over on the winnable side of things. I did push out today, late, short notice, text message alerts, uber important. We cashed a plus 600. Aston Villa in the Europa League gets the cash for us there. 2-1 final, 2-1 predicted. Oh, man, it was a great day here for the Europa. Big money came in, and everybody over on Winnable saw that. But again, it was short notice. So you're never going to see that on the post side of things if you don't have those notifications turned on. Consider checking out Winnable. Especially, I got 2 free plays out there tonight for everybody on the Winnable side of things. Cost you nothing. You don't even need a credit card, nothing to put down. All you do is go over there, sign up for the free plays, and make sure you have those text notifications on so that you get that action when we drop it. Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
There you go. That's it. That's where it's at. Check us out on all social spaces. Free play dropped over on the Instagram side of things as well. You can follow us at Twitter, Sports Money Wins. You can follow us at Twitch, Sports Money Network. And you can find me at Winnable, Mikey Money. Now let's get to the money. I messed up the date again. Sorry, guys. It was a late, the rest of it looks right. It was a late start here for me today. After watching all that soccer this afternoon, some things happening here at the homestead. So get your plays in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on, and let's get to business because we got ourselves a fun evening. 7:45 p.m. We will pop off with the best live stream in the business right here at the Sports Money Network. You know what we do on these live streams. You know tonight, each and every site has a player boost. So I will give you guys the same game parlay. We've got ourselves the first touchdown scores. We've got sides and totals. You'll hear it from Razor Sharp Picks. You'll hear it from Ramon Scott. You'll hear it from MMA Jeff. You'll hear it from me. And you'll hear it from anybody else that joins us over the course of the evening. So get ready, get set. Let's go. And shout out to Smoke and Mirror says, let's go, homies. Stop Geoengineering Redbeard's here. Plant-based says, let's make it a day. Jay Peasy. There's my guy. Shout out to Jay Peasy, man. Not only is he my brother, but man, this dude takes the time to post a tweet that's advertising that he's going to listen to Sports Money, man. Shout out to you, Jay Peasy. I love you, dude. Says, tuned in to Mikey on my 3-hour drive home. Please give me some winners. Jay Peasy, I couldn't imagine a 3-hour ride home. I've been there. You know, it's funny. When I lived in Philly, I lived in a small place called Conshohocken. First city you could live in, first township you could live in outside of the city limits. And that meant they didn't charge the Philly city wage tax. So yeah, I wanted to save that 4%. But man, they were doing construction at the 202 interchange off of 76. And so if I left my office at 5:15, I'd be home at 6:30, 6:45. If I left my office at 6:15, I'd still be home at 6:30. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just stay at work later. Can you imagine that? Making a concerted decision to stay at work later because it's the difference. I got less to do tomorrow if I finish it today. But then I moved to the Northeast, man. And I had to take that drive in every single day. I can't believe an expressway that has a 65 mile an hour speed limit on it could somehow back up and you're literally stop and go for 2 hours back to my office. I spent about a year. It was with my boy. We were having a good time there. It was the old bachelor pad. We were stopping home for martini lunches, but that sucks, brother. Respect and appreciate you. Peter Gracia is in the house. He says, sup, happy almost Friday. Hey, man, Thursday is connected to Friday, and that means we're at the weekend. Damon Waring says, good evening, Mikey and Cappers. Let's get this money tonight. Says, good luck to everybody. Nasty Nate, having a friends and family game night at my house tonight, and I bought a drinking card game that interacts with the football game on first downs. Drink, field goal, drink. Wow. Nasty Nate, the only thing I can criticize in that statement is a lot is 2 words. You know me. You know that's a thing of mine. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. I thought about doing the bingo. We thought about so many different things for the live streams, but more to come, dude. I'm curious to hear how it goes. Make sure you put us on the small screen. Have the Sports Money Razor Sharp Picks Network up there, giving you guys the play-by-play. M the Great says, what's up, Mikey? And chat, let's have a night. And that's Nate says Celtics second quarter. There you go. You heard it here first. Trevor Davis says, you do with the over in the hockey game last night. You do with the over in the hockey game last night. Old E says, hit the like you dogs. JPZ says, I'm on the Lightning money line, parlayed with Real Madrid. So it's plus money if Tampa Bay wins. Trevor Davis says, I don't know what the hell I wrote. What I'm saying is I told you that the over in the high. Okay. Shout out to Old E. Says, member for 14 months, become a member or walk the plank. My God. Shout out to you, Old E. JPZ. Member for 11 months. He's rocking and rolling here tonight. Blake M says, good evening all. Let's get to it. Bo Jackson says, Bucks are celebrating 50 years of their first win tonight. Hence the creamsicle uniforms. December 11th, 1977. Wow. Shout out to Bo Jackson, man. Bringing some original takes to the table for all of us to benefit from. JP says, I took 6 months off. Toucan says, JP had Real Madrid live to win. There you guys go. I'm assuming you're talking about some Euro League basketball, some hoops. JP says, King suck. Bo Jackson's on the Bucks. Dewey McDougal says, let's smash the notification. 60% is massive, but we can get to 40 right now. I agree. I mean, look, we're going to approach 1,900 subs. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it costs you nothing to turn your notifications on. So if you guys haven't done so, you know we're not spamming. We're not jamming you guys up with any nonsense here. You want them notifications to come across your phone when something's dropping at Sports Money Network because it means it's a money-making opportunity. Tarek B's in the house. JP says, I probably the Bucks money line and the under 45.5. Redbrick says, Bucks have cost me a good amount of money. Tarek B says, the Celtics are not going to smash tonight. And Pachico de Gale is asking why. Nasty Nate's saying he's drunk early. Tarek says, are you on Green Bay with me? I do like Green Bay. And I'm not talking about the Packers. I like Green Bay in the Horizon League. Trevor of all trades. B ruins Bruins, he says. Tarek B says, Nasty Nate, Bucks will cover. I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are as well. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. I am with Cocktail this evening. Cheers to everybody that's rocking with us. It's one of those days. It's one of those days. There's a song I didn't expect to be singing out to everybody here tonight. Let's start with this Tampa Bay Lightning, New Jersey Devils game. Bunch of y'all talking about it here. And we know that there's been some recent injuries on the New Jersey Devils side of things. And how can you not recognize, man, Tampa Bay went out there and absolutely busted up the Montreal Canadiens the other night. I was wrong. But, you know, the thing that kind of confused me was back-to-back 2-0 losses. And Tampa found a way to step it up. On the flip side of things here, the Devils got their win against Ottawa, but they had also found themselves on a losing streak. So we've got ourselves a unique situation here tonight because Jonas Johansson, him. He is him. Who is they? And he's going again. Fifth straight start. You almost never see this. And it's so uber important to this cap tonight because you've got some issues on the Devil side of things here. Look, some big personnel issues. The biggest one here is Timo Meier. We know Jack Hughes. We know Dadonov. We know Kovacic. We know McEwen. New Jersey is a battered and tattered lineup right now. Third string guys are playing first string. Second string guys are gone. Fourth string guys are playing third string. This is a mess for the New Jersey Lightning or for the New Jersey Devils right now. And so ultimately, as you look at this thing here, New Jersey, yes, snapped a 5-game losing streak, kind of got that monkey off their back, but they're going to go with Jacob Markstrom. And this guy really struggling to stop a beach ball. 3.48 goals against average on the Markstrom side of things here. So I think this is a punt game for the New Jersey Devils. That's what it comes down to. You know, Tampa's out there getting fired up. They're getting ready. Yes, they still have some issues on their side of things here. They got that monkey off their back as well. So you got two shit teams coming into this thing, and you know what happens. You know what happens when we find a situation where we've got two shit teams coming together. You fade the Devils when they're in the dog roll against the East, especially if they're sub 500. 192 and 102 when the Devils are a dog, especially. Think about this. They have been so prolific at home. These New Jersey Devils, one of the best home records in the league, that you see them in the dog roll. Even the books don't want any part of this New Jersey Devils action here. And they're telling you, we don't want you to take the Lightning. We don't want, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you Tampa Bay at minus 130. If you want it, go ahead, because look, 9-4-1 at home are the New Jersey Devils, but 9-4-2 are the road are Tampa Bay Lightning with a day's rest after the Canadian travel spot there. I like Tampa Bay to get this job done. I'm with you guys. I saw some of you guys in the chat doing it up. Shout out to David, says Mikey Money, my dog. What up, David? 247, baby. Trevor Valtrade says on the over in the Devils Lightning game. JPZ says, let's go Tampa. Trevor Valtrades likes them Bruins, though. We got to look at that. Got to recognize that. So I like the Devils. I'm sorry. I like Tampa Bay to kick this card off. My fault. Sans cocktail. Carolina Hurricanes, Washington Capitals. Bring us to game number 2. Interesting spot here with this game. You know, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Capitals open up as a minus 116. They're now minus 105. I'll tell you what, I'm not entirely thrilled with the way that I've seen the Hurricanes play. And what I mean by that is they're win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. When they win, they're scoring goals. When they lose, they're scoring none. Kind of makes sense. You're not winning games if you're not scoring goals. And then the Capitals, I don't know, this age-ed line just continues to find a way to win the game. And that is a little perplexing. We look at this goaltending matchup, and we've got ourselves Logan Thompson. Numero uno, the big dog, the head gun, 1.96 goals against average. Probably the best goalie from a save percentage, from a quality starts perspective across the NHL right now. 39 saves against the Blue Jackets. It was a shutout win, second shutout of the season. Here's what's impressive about this. This dude's got a 1.96 goals against average with 2 shutouts. So generally, when you see a goal, he's got a 1.96 goals against average. He might have played like 4 games and he's got 2 shutouts. So he had 2 stellar games. No, 92.5% save is Logan Thompson, our Logan Thompson. And on the other side of things, he's got Brandon Bussi. Because we've got injuries on the Carolina Hurricanes front. What do we know about injuries? You change your defensive style and you protect the goal at all costs. Look, first-year guy, 2.09 goals against average. Got to respect it. Capitals are 10-1-2 in their last 13. This has a fishy line feel to it to me. Capitals come back home. They're playing a backup goalie on the other side of things. The line has come down against the Capitals. So that kind of gave me a little moment of pause. And then I said, you know what? Let's just attack this under. Let's take a look at this here. Capitals, the best, the under 6. Remember, Capitals 6. Capitals 6. The under's 86 and 64. It's been prevailing right now in recent form, 6 and 4. Not a ton to it, but I think because you've got stellar goaltending on the Capital side of things, you've got an inconsistent Carolina side of things, and you've got them playing a backup goaltender that, yeah, all signs point to the under 6 for me in this game. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, well, it's 5.5. I got to encourage you to get a book that's got a 6. It's such a key difference. 4-2 is a push. 4-2 on the under 5.5 is a loss. Yeah, it's plus 105. They're baiting you in. This is what has happened time and again with these books. Now, we talked about this the other day. The FanDuels, the DraftKings, they're all putting half lines. There's no whole numbers anymore. 5.5, 6.5, 4.5. I don't know. You got some balls if you take it under 4.5. Shout out to everybody rocking with us here. Jerry Davis says, what up, Mikey? Last night I was trying to be diligent on any live play noties. You sent a live over or under, went to bed, and it was minus 265. Really? I ain't betting minus 265s, dude. I can assure you that. The number that you see on the line is the number that I got. So maybe you consider going up or down a half a unit. Maybe, I don't know. Or a half a number. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks. Says hit the like button down below. If If you get a sub, you got to give two. Turns out. See, here's the difference. I have my notifications turned on for the Razor Sharp Picks Network, right? So I was the recipient of a gifted membership. Boom. I'm notified. I don't know. 45 seconds later, minute later, Razor Sharp Picks is DMing me. You're a scumbag. So I knew I was a scumbag well before Razor Sharp Picks told me I was a scumbag. That's the benefit of having your notifications turned on, you guys. It's that fast. Literally. It happens that quickly. And now I'm part of the Razor Sharp Club. But I was on the road. And you can't, and at least on the iPhone world, you can't gift sports, or you can't gift memberships from, does it count if I gift 2 sports money memberships, Razor? Does that count? JPZ! Shout out, Razor. Kelly V says, look for Ovi anytime goal or 1.5 points. Wilson anytime goal, been hot. I like the Wilson angle because he's trying to get himself a position for Team Canada, especially if the ice surface ends up being smaller than what they're expecting it to be there. If it's not an official size, I don't know. They're saying there's like 3 days in between when they're supposed to complete that rink in Milan and when they actually go out there and start the women's hockey side of things. But if it's going to be a smaller rink, you want Tom Wilson out there. Not only does he have some agility to him, but he's physical. And in a smaller, the problem with the Olympics, generally speaking, is it's a wider rink. So there's less emphasis on physical contact and more emphasis on playmaking. But if it's a smaller rink, yeah, you want a bruiser out there, man. You're gonna beat some of them boys up. Peter Grassi says, exactly, especially draftees, all hooks. Yeah, dude, there's like the days of the 6s are gone on most of those sites. Gooey McDougal says Falcons 19.5 over is a gift. Razor's laughing. I don't know if he's laughing about my gifting over on this. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out live on air. We always do. Razor Snipes says 4 bets on tonight's NFL game. I can't wait. I don't want to guess him. I think I could probably get it, but I don't want to guess him. Nasty Nate says, shot time. Kelly V says, T. Wilson's a dirty player, but a hot one. I don't know if he's dirty. He's physical. Physical guys tend to be making more questionable hits, probably. St. Louis Blues, Nashville Predators. Excuse me. It's going to be a fun show for me tonight. Enjoying myself an adult beverage here with you guys live on screen. With an hour and 15 minutes to go. I'm gonna have to cocktail manage that thing for an hour and 15 minutes. St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators. Number one. Jordan Binnington comes in here, 3.29 goals against average. They're talking about Jordan Binnington as far as a Olympic representative. He said, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on playing for the Blues right now. And UC Saros is going to go in net for the Nashville Predators. What a tremendous win for the Nashville Predators the other day. I had that feeling. I got a feeling that Colorado was going to get smashed that night. And they did. It was 4-3 final. Colorado took the L. Lots of live betting opportunities. Gave out a live bet at +1. I think it was 175. 175, 185, something like that. And they've got the St. Louis Blues coming into town. There's 2 reasons I don't like the Blues in this game. One, Nashville has found their speed slot. That is the name I have given it. It accounts for a team that's actually reaching their expected goal potential. Last year at the end of the season, I was Nashville distraught. All these dudes, and you can't find a way to score goals. And this year, they are doing it. When they win, they're scoring. They lost a game 5-2 to Nashville at the end. The last game, to Winnipeg at the end of November. They've opened up December on a 3-1 rip, 5-1, 2-1 at Florida. They lost 6-3 to Carolina, but they put up a fight. Misleading score because there was a lot of goals at the end. And then Colorado. There's that big win against Colorado with a homestand in between. So no travel off of a 1-1 road split and a big homestand. Comfortable. Home team, no travel. And how about these Blues? This is that awkward, ugly schedule spot. 3 road games: Boston, Ottawa, Montreal. Canadian travel across the border. Boston back at home. Then they go back on the road before they go back home. I don't want to say it's a scheduled loss for these guys here, but I'm going to take the Predators here. I think this team's running hot right now. Not only that, but the home favorites against the division are tremendous victors. They've been crushing. They've been cranking. They've been finding a way to get the job done. And I think the Nashville 9-1 its last 10 home favorites against the division seems like a great spot for us to play here tonight with this Nashville Predators team. And look, I hate to say it, but there's mounting injuries on the St. Louis Blues side of the team. We've known the Blues to kind of become an under team. So when you get a team like Nashville at home, comfortable and starting to heat up, you're in trouble. Snuggerger, out. Torpachenko, out. Walker, out. Kyrou, out. Bjugstad, out. That's too many injuries here for this St. Louis Blues team. Your 3s become 2s. Your 2s become 1s. This is not a good spot for the St. Louis Blues team, and that's why I'm going to take the Nashville Predators. Reasonable price tag on top of that as we roll on. And we roll up. What do you guys have to say? Let's see. Jerry Davis says, oh, hell, Mikey, going to be a football bat by 8:30. I don't know. Maybe. Redbeard says, duck races flying tonight. Oh, is that what happens when I get a couple cocktails in me? We start duck racing? Mr. Wesker says, what do you think about Syracuse ATS? I've got a total for you guys in that game. We'll get there. Let's talk about Florida Panthers, Colorado Avalanche here. And what do you want to say? The Avalanche, what'd they come off of? A loss to the Predators. We just talked about it. So they're back at home and they should be pissed off for sure. All the money's coming in on the Colorado side of things here. 21-2, one of the best home ice advantages in the NHL. And I don't think you can approach the cap for this game without at least acknowledging just that. Dominant. Danny Tarasov will start for the Florida Panthers, not Sergei Bobrovsky. Mackenzie Blackwood will start for the Colorado Avalanche. We remember Mackenzie Blackwood. Remember when he was in Scumbag Island over there with the San Jose Sharks? And he was like a 3.8 goals against average and losing games. And he was a Shark before the Calabrini thing. Now he gets traded mid-season and he fires. He's been flying. Fly at the end of last season for Colorado. And look, 8-1-1 to start this season. 2.21 goals against average, 92%. Third straight start because Wedgwood is injured. What happens when teams have injured goaltending? See, this is important to recognize. I know it's redundant. It's a little repetitive, but I got to sink it in because they've got an emergency goalie that's being brought up now. Wedgwood's 1. Blackwood's 2. Kind of weird that there's a Wedgwood and a Blackwood, but anyhow, 1 or 2, you could argue, it doesn't matter. But they alternate. And so now you're bringing in a backup who's he's an AHL goalie is what it comes down to. And so you can't let your guy get shelled when you've got backup goaltenders in the net because they lose their confidence. They lose their faith. And then what are you going to do? You got a third string goalie and you're going to rack up a bunch of losses. So defense is the name of the game for the Colorado Avalanche, especially after coming off a loss against the Nashville Predators. So defensive-oriented team coming back home with a backup goaltender, so they're full-go defense, trying to rebound off a loss. Panthers are on the second leg of a back-to-back, and now they're at elevation, so they should be tired. And they've won 3 games in a row. Furthermore, this is the second leg of a back-to-back at elevation for the Florida Panthers. They just played at Utah. Fuck my under in that game. So I suspect with this game, this has to be a situation where we take the Thursday night trend for the Florida Panthers here. I don't see them scoring goals tonight. They got their goals last night. They went out there and did their job. Florida Panthers get the win. Colorado wants to play defense as well. 49-25. That is the number. 49-25. Florida Panthers unders on a Thursday. I know it's funny. We laugh about the days of the week and the sprinkles on the Sundays, but it's a thing. And it fell off a little bit. It's 6-4 in its last 10 here, but tell me there's any other reason but this game going low scoring. You know, the public narrative seems to be like, oh, they've got backup goalies in and we're going to see a lot of goals. That's not how hockey works. They change the game plan. They change the D lineups. They take more guys that are physical and shot blockers as opposed to, you know, guys that are offensive defensemen. This whole thing changes based on the fact that it's a backup goalie, and that's how guys get through these games. And you know, Colorado doesn't want to sack back-to-back losses. There's no way. Colorado also happens to find themselves in a 20-0 streak. Hint, hint on the winnable side of things here. But I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go back to it. Gooey McDougal says, should have never bet Green Bay. I had a feeling Iwapui would come out blazing. All right, what's going on in that game? Michael Johnson says, Avs smash spot. I think so. But that's going to complete the NHL portion of the show. So if you haven't done so already, give that thumbs up a smash. You guys get this up there, man. We've been lagging. You guys are viewing, but I don't know who's not hitting the thumbs up. It seems like about a 30 you guys aren't. So a little reminder. If you like the show, you enjoy the content, you love the channel, you love what we're doing here, we need your help. We need you to smash that thumbs up button. Bruh! Who is sitting here talking about this fucking Iwapui Green Bay game right now? What? Dude! Gooey McDougal? Brother! It's 11-7. The game just fucking started. What are you talking about? It's just fucking live bet. Live bet this fucking Green Bay side of things here. There you go. Here's an official play. Official play right now. The game just 11-9. You get plus 3.5. You know what? I'm going to take the money line. Plus 140. There you go. Green Bay against Indianapolis. Yep. There you go. I'm doing it right now. So I went big on these boys. You endorsed it. Yeah, and I'm betting live right now. 140. They just fucking started, dude. Brother, what happens here is we have to adjust our temperament, right? Either the bet's too big or we're not betting enough games. Because when they're down a couple points, I don't even watch some of these games when they first start. What I'm looking for is when can I jump back in live? You know what I'm saying? The cap is the cap. Is the cap. So let's find a spot. Plus 140. I'm going to add that to my official repertoire here. David just took it. All right. I'm going to add that to my official. We've done well on these live bets. Marcus McCarthy says he loves it. I mean, come on. Game just started. We're going to panic. Now, listen, if it was like 40-0 right now, yeah, I might be sitting there. Well, you know what? I'd still be looking at Green Bay. Red Bridge says, I can sell you your own shoes. Listen, many years ago, I was a mighty fine fella. Then I became a degenerate with you boys, and I love it. And I wouldn't rather be anywhere else than this community with you guys here, building out sports money, trying to find plays just like that. A plus 140 money line. I mean, look, they were plus 1.5 when the game started at minus 108. Now you can get them at plus 140 on the money line. Fuck yeah. All right, let's go. Let's roll on to the next game. Says I show him black. I sold magazines to a blind person. Jerry Davis like CSB plus 6.5 home system play. Blake bet it as well. All right. Let's move to the NBA Cup. You guys know I've had a I don't know. I don't want to get down. It's been like 2 days of tough NBA plays for me, but it's also that next round of the tournament. So I don't know. I guess sometimes shit happens, right? You have to reevaluate. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm going to look at the Celtics and Bucks game here. It's went from -6.5 to -9s and -9.5. So it's recently come back. Worth noting. All the way up to 9.5. Come back to a 9. 64% of the bets and 65% of the cash. Kind of tells me, if I was going to interpret this line movement, Toucan says 14-11 Green Bay. All right, let's go Green Bay. Won't that be the best to come back on that live stream in an hour and be like, we just cashed a plus 140 on Green Bay? I mean, this is U-shaped movement, right? So we always kind of see like, you know, shout out to our guy, Pete Loshak, used to talk about the U-shaped movement. I guess this is probably a better U. I guess that's a good U. That's a good U right there. Sharps come in, they buy the number, kind of peters out, and then public starts buying it, and the Sharps whack it again at the end. So I think it's come down here. The Sharps are expecting 9 is around that magic number for them. That's how I interpret this line movement. The totals come down from 226.5 to 222.5. Man, I'll tell you, a lot of trepidation with me on some of these overs for these later games in this NBA Cup, because we've just seen. Is it the teams don't care? I guess the Lakers didn't care about this. I don't know how you couldn't care. You're picking up an extra milli with a championship to boot behind it. I mean, the rumor was this shit's built for the non-competitive teams to go out early in the season and be relevant, right? Is what it comes down to. They got something to play for because they're not going to be in the NBA championships, right? They're not going to be in the playoffs. Can't argue the Celtics right now, though. Hottest team in the NBA. Nasty Nate, you know it takes everything I got to say that, because, gosh, everybody was saying they're small. Everyone's saying they're not physical. And yet here they go. They've won 5 straight in the Eastern Conference. An Eastern Conference, by the way, with the New York Knicks in there. And now they're in 3rd place. This is where shit just blows my. They're too small. They've got the 3rd best defense in all of the NBA, and they've won 8 of their last 10 games. What are we talking about here? Who's making these random speculations? And they're doing it after the fact. It's stupid. This is the difference between leading indicators and laggard indicators. You guys know the difference between this? We used to talk about this in my corporate world. Leading indicators, early adopters, innovators, people that embrace change. Lagging indicators are the guys that sit there and go, oh, best example I can give. The light's green. Let's drive through it. The light's yellow. Well, did it just turn yellow? And how close am I to the intersection? Or has it been yellow a minute and it's about to turn red, right? And then when it's red, it's like, oh, this is a red light. I better stop. You're a laggard if you're sitting there seeing a red light and you better stop. If you see it goes yellow, it's kind of the interim indicator. It's about time to stop. Probably should slow down. If it's green, you gas yourself right on through there. I don't know if that's even a good analogy, but there's so many prognosticators that sit here and talk about these games, and they're like, hey, this team's just too small. Well, why? Because they're 3 inches smaller than every other team across the NBA, but they still got heart, which is amazing, because I don't think Jalen – listen, don't get me started. Jalen Brown has no fucking heart. The problem with the Milwaukee Bucks in this case is their team is done. They're checked out. Giannis wants to leave. He wanted to leave a while ago. We should have just let him go. This is where you have to be like we could talk about this with the Sports Money Network. Like when you see some early warning flags, fire them. Move on. Don't let shit linger. Becomes a cancer. Becomes a tumor. And Giannis, he wanted to leave after he first got there. But what do? They brought in Dame time. They built him a new practice stadium, state of the art. Like, you're going to be great. He still wants to fucking leave. So all you did is buy time. It's like if you're dating a girl and, she's telling you she's leaving and you kiss her ass and you buy some flowers, you make a special dinner. She's still leaving, dude. Let her go. Let Giannis go. Favorites on a 3 or 4 day rest against non-division opponents are 166-90. Road favorites on a winning streak, which are the Boston Celtics against a tired team where they have the rest advantage, are 12-2. For all the aforementioned reasons, this is a Boston Celtics spot. to me. Oh, these aren't cup games, says Marcus. All right. Well, either way, I still think this is a Boston. Yeah, those early games were those early games were the cup spots, right? Nonetheless, man, the Celtics are smashing everybody. And you know the thing is, they've been underrated. As amazing as it, not by Nasty Nate. Jerry Davis says, does he really want to leave? You don't think if he leaves, his brother's coming with him? I mean, look at the Steph Curry, Seth Curry situation. Seth Curry's dating or married to the daughter of Doc, right? And he's playing for the Sixers. All of a sudden, a couple years later, he goes around the league and Seth Curry's looking to play for Golden State. It's like the Quinn brothers in the NHL. They'll find a way back together. Their agents aren't stupid. They'll figure it out. Sweat no bet. Shout out to Sweat no bet in the house. All right, so listen, the Celtics, you underrate them, you give them plus 7.5 against Cleveland, they win outright. Cleveland's a bad team. They were at Cleveland by that point. 2-point winner. Knicks. Play against the Knicks, you're at home. Best team in the East, arguably. Plus 1.5. They win outright by 6. They busted up the Wizards by 45 points. They busted up the Lakers by 21 points. They took down Toronto in the 6. A hot Toronto team in the 6 by 8 points. I'm on Boston. Nasty Nate. I hope they smash tonight, but all I need them to do is win this game outright for me. Or not outright, but -9. -9 is where I need them to cover. Don't fucking be complacent at the end. Oh, surprise, surprise. Looks like Jason Tatum still out of the lineup. Surprise. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You know what, Nasty Nate? Tell me I'm wrong, but get rid of those fucking two guys. Outright release. It doesn't matter. We'll figure something else out. If we have a bad year, we're going to get better draft picks next year anyways. And chances are those athletes that we bring in from Division I college basketball programs will probably have a better attitude than those two idiots anyways. But I digress. Let's go on to the Trailblazers and the Pelicans. What a battle. What a game. I'm surprised. No Zion, no problem for these New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, there's a problem for sure. This line's been fluctuating is what you need to know about this game here as we get closer to game time. -4.5. There's -3.5 and there's +4.5 out there. So it's got to depend on where you want to be. And I'll tell you this, the public's on the Trailblazers. They don't believe in the Pelicans right now. 68% of the bets are on the Trailblazers. 57% of the cash. So there are some bigger bettors coming in on the Pelican side of things here. This is why I don't watch a lot of these fucking teams. Because how could you? 3-22 Pelicans? What are you thinking? The line's too short? Is that what's going on? 237.5s have moved to 241s, even 242s. This line continues to steam to the over. Steam alert. And by the way, SRB alert, the over in this game. For what it's worth, for all to know. I don't know. Looking at these two spots, I'm looking at these squads, I'm looking at the situation and the way that they played the game here, and which loser do you want? The loser that's got a couple points and they're hoping they're going to follow and win, or the loser that beats up on bad teams? I think I've got to go to the loser that beats up on bad teams. I mean, look, Memphis is a bad team. You can't argue that. They lost. They lost to Detroit. Detroit's a good team. They lost to Toronto. Toronto's a good team. They lost to OKC. OKC's a good team. And they beat Cleveland. Cleveland's a bad team. Cleveland and Pelicans, to me, are kind of like 1A and 1B when it comes to this side of things. And the Blazers are 4-1 against the spread in those spots. So you kind of got to tip your hat a little bit. I know it's reverse line movement here, but I'll tip my hat a little bit to the Blazers. And rest prevails all. Rest favorites against a shit team are 35-15. We define shit teams around here at the Sports Money Network, or at least on Pregaming, as below 500. Just so we're all on the same page. You're not even 50-50, you're a shit team. And if you've got rest and you're the favorite against a shit team, you're 35-15. That's 3 filters, that's 3 cycles, that's 3 criteria, and it makes a ton of sense. You're coming in to beat these boys up. And now you're taking the line down by a point. Home dog favorite? Yeah. NBA favorites against division rivals on a losing streak are 9-1 on top of that. So I'm in, man. I'll take the Blazers. I'll take my chances. I'll tell you what, I think this game fucking first team to reach 100 gets the job done as well, but I'll take the Blazers. And let's go on. We got 3 more games. We got 5 more minutes. Let's get it done. Appreciate everybody that's been here rocking. SF Niner. And the Greats. Talking about who's mediocrity? What did I miss? You boys riling each other up. Let's see. Kelly V says Boston first half continues to be decent. SF Niner says I hope the Colts get their draft picks taken away for tanking. I don't know that they're tanking. All right. I'm going to fire through these last few picks, but did you know, if you guys don't know about this Colts thing, so Old Man Time was coaching a high school team, and he's running the same offense as the Indianapolis Colts. And so every week, him and the coach are talking back and forth about the Indianapolis Colts offense so that he can implement it and instill it in his high school team. So, yeah, he's been on the couch for 4 years, but he was never a fucking running gun guy, right? That's Phillip Rivers. He's a big statue in the fucking pocket, and you hope you have some offensive line to block him, which they do. And he's got experience with the playbook. He knows the insides and outs. He knows the Scientology behind it. Not Scientology. He knows the science behind the playbook. I don't know that that's a terrible decision. I mean, look, it was Indiana Jones. I don't know it's much of a downgrade. I don't like the fact that he's been eating Cheetos. Did you know? Funny stat. He's got a grandson and a son. They're like an age apart. And so he was saying it could be the first father-son combo, kind of like LeBron James playing in the NFL. Did you know that? I mean, I've never been a Phillip Rivers guy. I think he puts his wide receivers in positions to get concussion passes, but anyhow, I got some thoughts on that stuff. Let's go to this last game here, because I told you guys I got a special treat for everybody here tonight, and this ain't shit to do with the side of the total here. Minus 8.5's moved to minus 10.5 on this Nugget side of things. I don't care who wins this game. I'll tell you what I care about. Good old Russ picking up a triple-double. Whoa! At a plus 425. Yeah, I think this is a great shot, man. Listen, we know what he's up against. And I think this is the show me game. Jokic triple-double. Of course, we know Joker likes the triple-double. He's the king. But if you want to be the king, you got to take the crown. And the NBA all-time triple-double leader is Russell Westbrook. And he did it again his last game against the Pacers. 24 points. He made 10 of 16 field goals. He had 14 assists. He had 12 rebounds. It's a great opportunity. And this game should fucking sail over the number. I was looking at the stats. Lots of trends on this game going to the over on top of it. I mean, come on. How could you not like the narrative here? The current triple-double guy against the all-time triple-double leader. And you're catching over a 4-1 spot on this thing? I mean, you decide how much you want to invest in this game here, but my goodness, at 425, and this line's coming down. The books are scared. I think it's a good spot there. I mean, the Nuggets, they're beating everybody up. The over made a lot of dashboards. The problem I had with the over, in hindsight on this game, is it's been sitting at the same number all day, and you have 84% of the bets and 85% of the cash. So I got you, JPZ. Jerry Davis says he had a triple-double on Westbrook the other day. I mean, listen, these aren't shoe-win spots, right? But like, this is it's got to be a motivational spot. It has to be. You're playing the guy that's going to eventually take your crown. You don't want to go out there and slap him in the face one last time. Probably open palm too, like a Michigan coach. All right, I got two last plays for you guys in college basketball here. Syracuse comes in off of their, I don't know, their biggest victory of the season. I don't know. They stormed the court. They got St. Joe's coming down. This line moved from 144.5 to 146.5. 77% of the bet, 76% of the cash are on the under. The lines moved from minus 12.5 to minus 13.5 right now. St. Joe's comes into this thing. This should be a fun game. I'll just keep it quick. I'll keep it quick because you guys are going to hear me talk all night tonight on the live show. I'm going to go to the under. It just comes down to Syracuse basketball style right now. 80-plus points in three big games, but they're step up in competition. I just think pace and tempo are the pace in the play in this game. St. Joe's doesn't do a lot of turnovers. They're going to kind of bottle things up, and they're going to force you to pass the ball around. It's going to be a tick, 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 tick fest here. That's going to be slower pace. It's going to be it's going to be physical. And we know the Hawks, they don't score. I mean, they're averaging, 60 points a game. So I'm going to take the under in the Syracuse spot there. I know they're coming off the big game, and it was kind of embarrassing to see the fans storm the court. Not going to lie to you. Yeah, they beat Tennessee, but I expected them to beat Tennessee. Well, not beat them, but I expected them to cover. Yeah. Look, I think if St. Joe struggles to get to 60, and we know that they're going to push this game to a lower pace, we see Syracuse is struggling to get to 70. Under 146 is a great score in this game. And we'll roll on to the last spot on the shop here tonight with the Sports Money Network and Pregaming is going to be North Dakota against Bakersfield. This line opened at minus 5.5. It's moved to minus 6.5. 63% of the bet, 69% of the cash are on the North Dakota side of things. The road favorite. Totals moved up 3 points to 150.5. What do we do? What do you say? I say that we jump in on the road favorite. Favorite for a reason. Overall performance between these two teams, 7-3. Yes, beating the shit out of teams. Bakersfield. I mean, look, Bakersfield's coming back after a long road trip, 4 straight road games. This is number 5 games after 4 straight road trip. They're 1-4 on that road trip. The only team they beat was Fresno State. It was a big upset, so they kind of went crescendo down after that. Decrescendoed, as they will in the music business here. Big dogs in both spots, and they got blown out. They're just not competitive. North Dakota's been beating up everybody. I think their defense prevails. I think Cal Bakersfield struggles coming back home for the first time against a team that's got more physicality, more size, more defensive acumen here. I'm going to take the North Dakota State side of things here to close the job out there at minus 6. That's it, you guys. 59 minutes, 5 seconds. We're at the 1 hour mark. Going to be 6:45. I'm sorry, going to be 7:45 with a special request from my man, Jay Peasy. Let's do the outro. Shout out to everybody. Good luck with your bets tonight. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't done so. And make sure you get back here at 7:45. Nobody on the fucking universe, in the planet, does the live streams better than the Sports Money Network. I appreciate everybody that came here tonight. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you later here. About an hour, about 45 minutes, as a matter of fact. Shout out to Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, Curtis Blow.